Hello my friends, welcome to my first workshop video. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you concepts and exercises to strengthen your skills with methods for personal transformation. In this video, you'll be working to strengthen your inner observer. The ability to reflect upon yourself in a healthy way allows you to make changes without using guilt, fear, or regret as motivators. For these exercises, you will need to write some things down. So if you don't have something to use for notes, go ahead and pause the video and find something to write with. Using your computer will be just fine. And before we get started, let me say, please do not take anything I say directly. Question it with your own source of inner knowing, and use my thoughts and ideas as you see fit and best serve you in your life. And with that, let's get started. To get ourselves into the right headspace for the exercise, we'll start with a little deep breathing. Be sure you're in a comfortable position. Relax your shoulders, your back, your torso. We're not going to be doing meditation. Just take a deep breath. And as you breathe out tension and tightness. Breathe in prosperity and relaxation. Breathe out tension and tightness. Take a few of these cleansing breaths. Breathing in prosperity and relaxation. Breathing out tension and tightness. In the tarot cards, there's a Knight of Discs. And when I was deciding the topic for this workshop, I drew that card. For me, tarot cards do not have magical power. They're a tool to guide my inner reflection. I believe that the alignment between sources of information and my needs is a natural one. The universe is conspiring to help me. I use Gerd Ziegler's book, Tarot, the Mirror of the Soul, as a reference on my reflections with the tarot. The Knight of Discs, according to Gerd, is related to earth, healer, investment, especially financial, harvest, and toil. The indication is, now is the time to set my abilities to work in service of some kind. Gerd's text indicates that the tasks before me are large and demand a use of all my powers. If I make the effort, the harvest will reward me richly. That sounds kind of big and ominous. And upon reflection, it can all be related to something mundane and simple. Let's put this in the context of a desire of some kind. And since this is a workshop on personal transformation, let's reflect on a desire for personal change. Now's the time to put the paper and pencil. What decision to change have you made? What goal for yourself have you said you want? Take a moment and write down your goal. And as you write this down, it's worthy to note, you've already begun to make the effort that Gerd talks about. Putting mind and body to work together is making the effort. It may seem small, unless you consider that all the efforts in the world towards a goal are more impactful than all the efforts against that goal or neutral to that goal. No matter how big or small, the efforts towards a goal are important. The efforts not will never get you there. And also, all efforts can only take place in a single instant. As a result, all efforts towards a goal have the same power in each single moment. I'll talk more another time about the power of the now. I don't mean to distract us. For now, please take a moment, check in, and relax. Because even thinking about your goal and writing it down can bring up thoughts, feelings, and most importantly, body reactions. Do you feel tension in your body when you consider your goal or objective? Take a moment then to breathe out that tension and breathe in relaxation. Breathe out tension and tightness. Breathe in prosperity and relaxation. And as you're breathing, let your mind begin to drift back in time. Think about 24 hours ago. What were you doing? Where were you at? Do you remember? How were you feeling? Now place yourself there. And remember, what were you doing? And write that down on the piece of paper or on your computer. It is not so important, each individual action. Leave a bit of space on your record so you can write down some thoughts about each thing we note. Now let your mind drift forward in time, processing your day. And as you remember things you did, pick 2 or 3 to write them down. You can take time, pause the video. If you want to write the whole day down, everything you did, that's fine too. But for our purposes, 2 or 3 will be plenty. It's not really important what you write down. But if something comes to mind that made you feel especially good or especially bad, or you did it because you felt like you had to, those are good ones to write down. This exercise might bring you tension as you think back on your day. Maybe parts of your day didn't go as well as you wanted. That's okay. Feeling tension is a normal part of life. Letting it go is also normal. If tension builds, just take a few breaths now and relax. Release any tension that builds up in the here and now. Now, without judgment, read your action you wrote down and ask yourself the following question. Did this action take me towards my goal, away from my goal, or was it neutral, neither towards nor away? Take a moment now for each one you wrote down to make a note. If you need to pause the video, go ahead. I'll be waiting. So with completing that exercise, let's proceed to the next question. While you were doing the action, were you avoiding something else that you wanted to do or needed to do? If you were avoiding something that was needed or desired, what was the purpose of the avoidance? Now keep this purpose statement simple. I was distracted. I was scared. It's a habit. And keep breathing to release any tension that comes into the here and now. Gerd guides us on the Knight of Discs to remind us to utilize our positive energy and not focus on the negative. They say whenever things seem to be too much trouble for you, concentrate on the positive results in your actions for you and others. Your internal learning and growing process is the most important outcome, more important than that which you achieve by your action. Know that the transformation is an internal achievement that will be reflected in the exterior. And as you reflect on what you have observed, know that in this moment, you're enough. Just as you are, in this moment, you are enough. You might feel compelled when you read what you wrote to judge yourself, either good or bad, for or against. Know that the judgment is also okay. It's just fine to have the judgment, and with that judgment, know that you're enough. The purpose of this exercise is not to force a change to our behavior. It's not to correct for past missteps. It's not to develop a sense of pride for what you did, but instead to just become aware of where we are in relationship to our goals. We can use the past for the purpose it was intended, to reflect upon and determine what we want now. It's not to guilt or shame ourselves for what has been. It's to reflect on what we want and how we might want to move along the path now. How will you choose in each moment what to do? What can our observer help us with? What can we gain from the observations of our past? Each moment is up to each of us to decide. What is the best action for you on your path? I leave it as an exercise for the rest of your life. And I appreciate you coming to the workshop video. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.